How's it going, everyone? Mitch here with another Logic Pro 9 tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about rock vocal production. This is one of the options you had to vote for in my survey, which is down in the bottom, and you can go take that whenever you want, and this was one of the most requested ones, so I thought I'd do it like a freaking boss. So here I am. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go over how I go from start to finish on vocals for rock. Alright? So first off, as you can see, I have taken these and I have gone and done the strip silence function on the vocals. And as you can see, it's split it up and it's taken out a lot of the dead space. And in that dead space could be buzz and hum and whatever. So I would definitely suggest going in and doing the strip silence function on whatever piece of audio that you are going to be working with, especially with vocals. Alright? So once you have that done, I actually have I've started to do this thing where I put a reversed reverb into the chorus, if the chorus is where you're going to be doing it or whatever. I've created a reverse reverb tail. Now if you do not know how to do that, I have a tutorial on reverse reverb which I can put into an annotation in this video. Go check it out. But yeah, this is what it's going to sound like.
I'm holding on to thee.
And as you can tell, the vocals are very dry, except for that reverb in the beginning. It sounds almost really awkward just because it's reverb and then just dry vocals. But we're going to be fixing that very quickly here. All right. So now that you have it strip silenced, and you could have a reverse reverb tail beforehand. Either way, once you're done with that, you're going to go and put channel EQ and compressor and a compressor on it. So I'm going to turn these on. Now, I have quite a bit of low end, low end cut, and that's because a lot of the vocals are, if their vocals are in that area of the frequency spectrum, it is going to be messing with a lot of the bass, the kick drum, a lot of the drum set, and you do not want to be doing that. Vocals down there don't even really need to be heard in rock vocals, so you can EQ up or low cut a lot of vocals out for that reason. Alright? And as you can see, I don't really boost anywhere except around, let's see, where is it? Around maybe 1780 hertz. Anywhere up from that is where I would suggest you to boost. And then I cut here at 710 because for some reason I just really did not like that frequency for these vocals. Alright, so let's do it before and after on just the EQ. Alright.
I'm holding on to thee, rising over the edge.
So you can definitely tell that it takes away from the low end, but that's perfectly okay because those vocals in the low end, like I said, do not need to be heard. All right. So let's go right on to compression. All right. So I set my threshold. First of all, I have a class AU circuit type, and then I'm going to have low attack and release because on vocals you want that low attack and release, okay? You want it to compress really quick and come off of the compression as quick as possible. The ratio I set to pretty low, 2.5, I don't know, anywhere in the lower range, like 2.1 to 1, 2.5, anywhere along here is good. If you get higher, it's going to be a noticeable difference, and that's not what you want. Alright, so for these vocals especially, I compressed a lot, and by that I mean I had floating around 10 decibels of gain reduction. So let's check it out.
I'm holding on to thee, rising over the edge.
So it was floating around 10 decibels of gain reduction, so like I said, or like you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be adding 10 decibels of gain back into the track. So this plugin is volume transparent, which is exactly what you want to be doing for every plugin. Alright? So let's do it before and after on the compression.
I'm holding on to thee, rising over the edge, the hope that thee.
Alright, so it just brings it together, rounds it off, which is exactly what we want it to do. Then also for rock vocals, I use a plugin that I like. I like the ensemble plugin. Why? Because you can add multiple voices. You can add a nice thickness almost to the track, and that's exactly what I like it for. So let's do it before and after on the settings of this ensemble plugin. All right.
Holding on to thee. rising over the edge, the hope that these things can change in the sunset. You look deep.
Alright, so there you go. That will help a little bit with making those vocals just sound a little bit thicker. Alright, so if we go back here, I'm going to be turning on all of this. What I did was, which was really cool, is I created, there's parts of this track where I wanted to echo. So what I did was from this main track, cut out portions that I wanted to echo, and then I just created a brand new track with an echo plugin on that track. So what's going to happen, basically it's just going to echo the parts that I've cut out of the main track. So let's hear what it sounds like.
At these things can change in the sunset. You look deep into my.
So it just echoed this certain part, which is exactly what I wanted to, and that's why I cut it out. So very cool. That's the reason for this echo. Now, as you can see, both of these tracks are going to be sent to bus 4 at 0 decibels. Yep, 0 decibels on each one, which is this one right here. And then they're going to be, the output of the tracks are going to be sent to bus 5, which is right here. Right here. So we have these two tracks. Now, I pan one hard right and one hard left, so you have both ears in both of these tracks. Okay. Now, if you've seen my vocal fattening tutorial or my rap vocal tutorial, I do this as well, but not as much as I would in the rap vocals. All right. So I'm going to turn on these two pitch shifters, and basically, I set the semitones to 0, and the cents I put at 1, 1, 1, and -1. Because I don't want so much stereo imaging, especially with rock vocals. And then I also set the mix to 50% on both of them. So let's do a before and after on what these sound like.
I'm holding on to the horizon over the edge, the hope that these things can change in the sunset.
Okay, so as you can see, it widens those vocals a bit, makes their stereo presence just a little bit bigger. And that's exactly what we want. All right. So after this, after they're right here, I send them both to bus 6, which is just going to be a mixture of both of the left and right. So it's just a double mix. That's what I have done here. All right, and then from this, I'm going to be sending it to bus 1. And bus 1 looks like it's going to be my reverb. And for reverb in vocals, especially for rock vocals, you don't need as short of a reverb as if you were working with rap vocals. So I would do a medium space, and plate reverbs are always what you want to be doing for vocals. Plate reverbs give a very, very nice effect for vocals. And I have the soft plate going here, which is 1.3 second long reverb. All right. And I send it how much ever I want to the track, and it sounds pretty fantastic. So let's hear what it sounds like before and after this.
I'm holding on to the horizon over the edge, the hope that these.
So quite a bit of reverb. You don't need to have that much reverb. I wanted these vocals to sit back into my mix a little bit more, and that's the reason for that amount of reverb on my track. All right, and then I also have bus 2 being sent, and bus 2 looks to be right here, and that's going to be a delay. Now my delay, I'm going to EQ out a lot of the high and a lot of the low, and so I'm going to put a very small band filter on this, and then I also have my tape delay. I have it set for quarter notes, and yes. All right, so I don't want the reverb, or the delay, sorry, to be muddying up different frequencies. I want it to be right in a single frequency like I did, and that's why I chose the EQ to be that small band filter. All right, so let's hear it before and after.
I'm holding on to the horizon over the edge, the hope that these.
Alright, so you can see that there's a little bit of reverb and delay on that. Actually, a lot of reverb and a little delay. So there you go. That's going to make those sound a little bit more flowy, which is what we want. Alright, so we're going to go to bus 8 now, and that is going to be our master channel, and then the output of this channel is going to be sent to bus 9. And I'm going to be doing on these two tracks parallel compression. If you haven't heard about parallel compression or don't know how to do it, I have a tutorial on that, and I'll also put that in the annotation, so go check that out. Alright, I'm not going to go over how to do that. I'm just going to do a before and after. So yeah, let's do this.
Horizon over the Things can change in the sunset. You look deep into my eyes. I envision the rest of the shadows burn.
Alright, so it just brings up the subtleties in the music, and that's why you use parallel compression, right? It makes it a little bit more thicker as well. Alright, so I have two directional mixers on both of these channels. One is going to be set for a pretty narrow spread. I actually don't need it to be spread that much. And the other one's going to be pretty wide, and I'm going to spread that out just a little bit more. So basically what's happening is on my parallel compression track, I am pushing that, I am forcing it into the middle of the stereo spectrum, while my master track, my normal track, is going to be sitting on the outside of the stereo spectrum. So you have this realization of the stereo spectrum that's going to be different than beforehand, and that's why I have these directional mixers on both of the master and the parallel compression track, right? And then at that point I just have it outputted to a Vox track, a main Vox track, and on this track I can put a limiter on it. I can EQ this track against other bus tracks that, like, you know, guitars, drums, stuff like that, so you can create stereo space for your vocals in the mix, alright? So now that we've had this all done, I'm going to take off this, the mute on that, and let's see what this sounds like.
I'm holding on to the horizon over the edge, the hope that these things can change in the sunset.
Alright, let's hear it with the actual track now. Alright, so there you are. That's how I would go by doing rock vocals. So everyone, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe like a freaking best. And if you haven't, or if you have before, I don't really care. Go take that survey in the description to choose my next tutorial. Thank you for watching, everyone. Peace out.